Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. All together, please. Om Jnana Timarandasya Ganandana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Savitam Yena Bhutale Shram Rupa Kadamayham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yukta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sarvetam Sarvadutam Prijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapcha Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhana Sudadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevaja Patitanam Bhavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, translation and commentary, Srila Prabhupada, chapter 16, the divine and demoniac natures. Today is verse 20, correct? Okay, please repeat. Āsurīṁ, yonim, āpannā, mūḍhā, janmani, adhamāṁ, aprāpyaiva, kaunteya, tato, yānty, adhamāṁ, gatim. Okay, word for word, please repeat. Āsurīṁ, demoniac. Yonim, species. Āpannāḥ, gaining. mūḍhā, the foolish. janmani, in birth after birth. Mam, me. Aprāpya, without achieving. Eva, certainly. Kaunteya, O son of Kuntī. Tataḥ, thereafter. Yānti, go. Adhamāṁ, condemned. Gatim, destination. Translation, Srila Prabhupada. Attaining repeated birth amongst the species of demoniac life, O son of Kuntī, such persons can never approach me. Gradually they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. Please repeat. Attaining repeated birth amongst the species of demoniac life, O son of Kuntī. Such persons can never approach me. Gradually they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. Purport, Srila Prabhupada. It is known that God is all-merciful, but here we find that God is never merciful to the demoniac. It is clearly stated that the demoniac people, life after life, are put into the wombs of similar demons, and not achieving the mercy of the Supreme Lord, they go down and down, so that at last they achieve bodies like those of cats, dogs and hogs. it is clearly stated that such demons have practically no chance of receiving the mercy of God at any stage of life. In the Vedas, it is also stated that such persons gradually sink to become dogs and hogs. It may be argued in this connection that God should not be advertised as all-merciful, as he is not merciful to such demons. In answer to this question, in the Vedanta Sutra, we find that the Supreme Lord has no hatred for anyone. The placing of the āsuras, the demons, in the lowest status of life is simply another feature of his mercy. Sometimes the āsuras are killed by the Supreme Lord, but this killing is also good for them. For in the Vedic literature we find that anyone who is killed by the Supreme Lord becomes liberated. There are instances in history of many āsuras, Ravana, Kamsa, Hiranyakashipu, to whom the Lord appeared in various incarnations just to kill them. Therefore God's mercy is shown to the āsuras if they are fortunate enough to be killed by him. So, Mukung Karochi Vachalam Pangam Laite Girim Yat Kripa Tamam Vande Sri Guru Dinitarinam āsurīṁ yonim āpannā mūḍhā janmani mam aprāpyaiva kaunteya tato yānty adhamāṁ gatim. Attaining repeated birth amongst the species of life, O son of Kuntī, such persons can never approach me. Gradually they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. So have you noticed there in the first sentence, attaining repeated birth among species of life, then Krishna says, O son of Kuntī, you're born of Kuntī Devi, who's a great devotee, of course. At the beginning of the Bhagavatam, the prayers of Queen Kuntī are there. She's praising Krishna. So, Krishna is reminding Arjuna, you are born in a divine family, your divine nature. But such persons can never approach me, Krishna says. Gradually they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. So yes, this is a delicate point, and Prabhupada deals with it in the purport there. The demoniac people, they get the mercy of Krishna by being killed, like Kamsa and Hiranyakashipu, Duryodhana. How is this? Well, that sounds, in the materialistic vision, though if they're killed, they're finished, right? This is the propaganda nowadays. We are the material body, and when you're killed, that's it, you're finished. No, but the basis of spiritual knowledge is that we are not the material body, we're the spirit soul. And this spirit soul has two dresses, the subtle body and the gross body. So killing means the gross body is detached from the soul permanently. The subtle body containing manas, which is the container of chittam. Chittam is contaminated consciousness. The soul is emanating consciousness, but chittam is contaminated consciousness because he is trying to enjoy the material world. He becomes in contact with the modes of material nature and becomes contaminated. Consciousness is clear, pure, just like the rainwater. When it falls from the cloud, it's distilled water, is it not? It's very pure. But when it falls on the earth, then it becomes contaminated, so to speak, with mud and other different things. But water then can be purified, and then its real nature becomes evident. So chitta means contaminated consciousness. And really there is two divisions of the creation. There is Vaikuntha, the spiritual creation, where everything is spiritual, pure, where everyone is in bhav, in prem, fixed on the Supreme Lord, situated in their spiritual swarup, living in ecstasy. They belong to Krishna. Krishna says, Mavai jivaloke. Angsa, we're the particle of Krishna. Krishna is the fire, we're the spark. Krishna is the ocean, we're the drop of the ocean. Krishna is the unlimited gold mountain, we are the particle of gold. So we're the same quality. So Krishna is pure. When we're in the shelter of Krishna by connection with Krishna by devotion, and that is the natural state of the soul, then our consciousness is pure. But when we're bahirmukh, when we turn away from Krishna, we try to enjoy this material world somehow or other, then we become contaminated. So that is the business of the divine people in the material world. They want to purify the consciousness and enter into the spiritual ras, the spiritual leela. They know that this material world is unsatisfactory. Dukkalaya masashvitam. But the demon think, no, I will get satisfaction by getting more. That is what they think. But of course they become frustrated. So what we'll do is we'll just review what Krishna says about the demoniac, his mentality. It's very... I remember when I read this for the first time, I got the Bhagavad Gita by mail order, and I was reading it. I was fascinated. When it came to this chapter, I was amazed. It's so clear, and it's such a exposition of the material consciousness. So we'll just start. It's all, of course, actually it's interesting to note in this chapter, the divine nature, Krishna gives a few slokas, very quick, and at the beginning. And then a large amount of slokas describing the demoniac nature. Because of course, we're in the demoniac nature. So the divine nature is there, but we're bound in the demoniac. So by knowledge, we become detached from the demoniac tendency. So here's what the demoniac person thinks. So much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the future more and more. So they're lusty for the material facilities. Lord Chaitanya said, Dhanam, Janam, Sundarim. They want money, they want status, followers, big position, fame and fortune in the material world, and then Sundarim. They want sex life. Right? They want these three basic departments. But they want more and more. So they become frustrated, right? Because this body, it's there. You can have sex life, but within marriage. But they try to have sex lives unlimitedly, and they take all sorts of drugs to increase. But then they end up completely burnt out, frustrated, and then they become destructive, right? Suicidal, psychotic. They have to go to the rehab, right? To get rid of the drugs in the blood, and they have counseling. So it's evident that these things are not satisfactory if you enter into these things. But if you get married and you have children, then in a regulated way, then you can enjoy. So Krishna says in the Gita, he says, sex life according to regulative principles for the procreation of children, that is, I am that. It's not that we say no sex life, but if you try to have unlimited, it's just like feeding a fire, and you yourself will become the particle burnt in the fire. But they want more and more. But it's interesting, so much wealth do I have today. That means so much money. Because they equate money with power. If I have money, then I will get janam, I will get followers, then I can have sex life. So they equate money with power, enjoyment. So they're like Ravana. Ravana mentioned Prabhupada in the purport. They want to enjoy Sita. They want Lakshmi, but they don't want Narayan. They want the energy of God in the material world, the material energy, but they don't want God. Just like we're saying in Vaikuntha, Angsa, Krishna says, Mavai Angsa, you belong to me. So in the spiritual world, everyone belongs to Krishna. And then Krishna and his devotees, of course, they belong to the devotees. So the devotees belong to Krishna, and then through their devotion, they capture Krishna. And then Krishna belongs to them. So that is the spiritual consciousness. We belong to Krishna and Krishna belongs to us. It's a place of belonging. But in the material world, the demoniac, no, I want it to belong to me. I want to belong to me, and I want more and more. Why? Because I'm not satisfied. What do they say? How much money is enough? A little more. You understand? I have 1 billion, I want 2 billion. Right? How you can spend the money? The taxman, well, of course, they influence the politicians to change the tax laws so the rich don't have to pay tax. But the thing is, they want to increase money, 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 money. And then if they see a beggar in the street, if they give 10 rupees, they feel like a part of their body has left. They've given a finger away. They have so much money, they identify so much with their money that if they give their money away, they will find, oh, I'm destroying myself, my pocketbook. So anyway, according to schemes, right? And then here's a scheme. So much is my will increase more and more. He is my enemy, and I have killed him. So they're ready to kill, right? And my other enemies will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything, right? So they want to adopt this mentality of being the Lord, the controller, but of the material energy. You understand? Oh, don't talk to me about service, loving Krishna in the spiritual world. I want to be the Lord of the material world. And this is often in tribal religions. They say some kind of prophet or Messiah will come and we will rule the material world. But they never talk about the serving Krishna, but that, or some idea of God. No, we want to control this material world. We are chosen to do that. I am the Lord, I am the enjoyer, me. I'm the enjoyer. Look, I have big money now, I've killed my enemies, so now I'm safe and sound. But death is coming for you. I am perfect, powerful and happy. So they want they go to psychiatrists, and the psychiatrists, they pay $500 an hour, and the psychiatrist says, just think positively. Don't think about death. You're perfect, powerful and happy. But kalosmi aham, I am all devouring death. Death will come. We come naked in the world, and then we leave naked. We can't take our credit card with us. So, yes, it's like a game of Monopoly. It's I've won the Monopoly game. Well, then death comes, and you have to put all the money back in the box with the what do they have, hotels and so on and so forth. You no longer can get out of jail free or whatever. Everything goes back in the box. Just like a chess game. Two people play a game of chess. You're the white pieces, I'm the black pieces, and it's very intense. But then the game is over, and the pieces are put back. And what does it matter? But while you were playing the game, it was life and death struggle. He's smarter than me. No, I'm smarter than him. So this is illusion, this is Maya. We take it all very seriously in the material world, and we want to be the winner of the chess game, the winner of the Monopoly game, but it's just a game. And at the end of the game, all the pieces go back in the box, and that's it. But you're carrying your karma, and your karma will bring you to your next position. I am the richest man, surrounded by aristocratic relatives. Yes. So people, you know, the trading people, they get money, then they want to marry into a rich family, you see. They want to marry into a high family. Oh, now I'm an aristocrat, you see. Janam, dhanam, janam, followers. There's none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices. So I'll perform sacrifices. Yes, I'll give in charity, some charity. And thus I'll be known as a very good man. I killed everyone and twisted and cheated and paid off the tax man to get my money, but I will rejoice. In this way, demoniac persons are deluded by ignorance. They're ignoring the Supreme Lord. What's the beginning of the Upanishad? Ishivasya idam sarvam yat kinchat jagadam jagat tena taktena bundita magrida kashasviddanam. Everything is controlled and owned by the Supreme Lord, right? Because why is it owned and controlled? Because He is janmani. He's the source. Just like you are the owner in a sense, you are the possessor of your children. They've emanated from you, so you can claim this is my child, right? So everything belongs to Krishna because Vasudeva Savamiti, everything is His emanated energy. Aham sarvasya pravavo matak sarvam. So everything belongs to Krishna. But Ravana, he wants to claim Sita, he wants to claim Lakshmi as his and push Narayan aside. But Narayan is coming in the form of death and coming in the form of time to control you. You're having a life sentence, but at the end of the sentence is a full stop. That's called death. Mrityu sava haraschaham. Anyway, those who are envious and mischievous. Whoops, what happened? Thus perplexed by various anxieties and bound by a network of illusions, they become too strongly attached to sense enjoyment and fall down to hell. So they become unregulated. They enjoy wine, women and song in an unlimited way, taking intoxicants to increase their pleasure, and this increases their illusion. And then they go into tamagun, from rajagun, passion, they go into further into darkness, and they become insane and destructive, suicidal, right? And you see that, right? Sometimes somebody becomes a pop star or a famous, they get some material opulence, they become unregulated in their enjoyment, and then they have to go to the psychiatrist. It's not that they suddenly, by intoxication and unlimited sex life, I became enlightened. No, I have to go to the psychiatrist and the rehab doctor to save my life. So practically, self-complacent and always impudent, yes. So because of money, they think they're the superior class, right? They think, money, my pocket is fuller than yours, I'm better than you. Deluded by wealth and false prestige, sometimes perform sacrifices in name and only without following rules and regulations. Yes, sacrifices, of course, now we know a lot of information coming out that many of the elites in the world, they're performing satanic rituals, and they sacrifice animals and even human beings, these demoniac people. We saw that in the Srimad Bhagavatam, right? Kali worship. They captured Jad Bharat. We'll offer Jad Bharat to Kali, and then we will get some yānty deva vrata devam pritrin yānty pritri vrata yānty bhuteja bhutejo yānti mam yachyo pimam. Those who worship the devas go to the devas. Those who worship the forefathers go to the forefathers. Those that worship the ghosts and spirits take birth amongst them. And they think like that. We're worshipping some Rakshasa entity and we're going to become big Rakshasas in the next life. But they will live an anxious life, unhappy, frustrated life. But those who worship me come to me in transcendence. Bewildered by false ego, strength, pride, lust and anger, the demons become envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yes, so they realize that they're not getting satisfaction. So then they blame the Supreme Lord. They don't see the fault in themselves, they blame everyone else. It's your fault. It's your fault. But you know what they say? When you point the finger at someone, 3 fingers are pointing at you, right? You're stupid once, but I'm stupid 3 times. So they're always blaming somebody else. I'm a victim. They never take responsibility. They never say, this is my fault, I'm in this trouble. They never want to accept that. They point, and then ultimately they point to the Supreme Lord, who they think is somewhere over there, but he's actually within the heart. Yes, who is situated in their own bodies, here Krishna is saying it, and in the bodies of others, and blaspheme against the real religion. So, you know, they're doing these demoniac, because human being naturally wants to have some kind of spiritual inquiry. That is the function of the human being. There is, if you look in nature, every animal has a particular function, a particular ability. The elephant's got a big nose, the giraffe has got a long neck. If you look, you know, the vulture, the eyeball is so small, and they're flying miles in the sky, and they can see a dead body miles away. How is it possible, right? The dog in the street comes up to you. Ooh, you're not in a happy mood today. His nose is 1,000,000 times or something better than ours. So the special function of the human being is inquiry into the absolute truth. Tato brahma jignas. Naturally. So they blaspheme the real religion, and they want to use religion for their own self-aggrandizement. Man, make me man through a God through religion. Don't make me the servant of God. Make me God, and everyone should serve me. And then everyone will be happy when they recognize my godhood. Oh, doctor. Oh, dentist, I've got a tooth. Oh, well, you're God, fix it. What is the problem? You're running to the doctor, you're running to the dentist, you're running to the toilet. You can't even control your own bowels, and you think you're God? Oh, it's bewildered by illusion. Right? Those who are envious and mischievous, you know, who are the lowest among men, the naradama, that is, I perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence into various species of life. Right? So they stay in this way. Why? It's not actually because Krishna is not being merciful to them. He's fulfilling their desire. Right? You know that Prabhupada would always quote, Nityo Nityanam, of all living entities there's one Supreme Eternal, Supreme Lord. Chaitanas Chaitananam, that of all conscious beings, I am the super conscious being. Eko Yod Dadati Kama, and I'm fulfilling everyone's desire. There's that verse. And then we come to this, today's verse. Attaining repeated birth in different species of demoniac life, O son of Kuntī, such persons can never approach me, because they're turned away. They don't want, they maintain this illusion of superiority. So to, like Mam Namaskaro, go to the Supreme Lord, they can't do that, because their whole idea is that I want to be the Supreme. So gradually they sink down. So, right. So if you look at 4:11, we'll see. Krishna. They're still reciprocating with Krishna, but they're doing it in the demoniac way. Yeyatam mam prapadyante tamstaiva bhajamiyaham mamavatman nuvartante manushyaha patha sarvashaha. All of them, as they surrender unto me, I reward accordingly. I reciprocate according to how they approach me. They're surrendering to my material nature, which is surrendering to me, but they're doing it indirectly. They're doing it in ignorance, in the darkness of the material energy. It's an indirect surrender, because they have to undergo. They have to undergo the reaction. Everyone follows my path in all respects. So everyone is there, getting the result. So they don't want the mercy in terms of sadhusanga, sarvasiddhi hoy, lavamata sadhusanga, sarvasiddhi. They want to enjoy and become lord of the material world. But they go crazy, like Hiranyakashipu. Where is Vishnu? I want to kill Vishnu and I will take his position. They think that God is some position that was attained and now I will attain it. They don't understand the eternal position of the Supreme Lord in Achyuta, one who is indefatigable, one who cannot fall down. So they don't recognize the laws of karma. We discussed this many times, right? The laws of karma, the laws of physics, action and reaction, they apply to material objects, but not me. I can do anything, but there'll be no reaction. I'm separate from the laws of material nature. I can do anything whimsically, arbitrarily, and there'll be no reaction. Even though in their own life they see that, right? So they become bewildered. They won't recognize that they're under the control of the material energy. They have this bewildered mentality. Why? Lust, anger, greed, illusion, pride, and envy. These are the 6 enemies of the mind. Lust, anger because of frustration. Greed, I want more because lust is like a fire that can never be satisfied. So then they enter into illusion as they go into tamagun, they go into madness, and then they get pride, false, no, I'm better than anyone, even though they're in the hospital under a drip. So then matsarya, they become envious, like Krishna says, envious and mischievous. Because they're frustrated, and it's your fault, it's your fault. It's my father's fault, it's my mother's fault, it's the government's fault. But they never point the finger at themselves. Or they may do, and they think, I'm going insane. It can't be my fault. So, yes. Also 4.3, have a look at 4.3. I looked up a load of verses today. The personality, 4.3. Yeah. The very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you. Why? Because you're my devotee as well as my friend. So Krishna, he's revealing himself to Arjuna. Why? Because he's a devotee, because he's not envious. And can therefore understand the transcendental mystery. If you're envious of the Supreme Lord, you can't understand bhakti. Bhakti means bhajan. Bhagavan, bhakti, bhajan. And then bhava. Right? But you can't understand this. Don't talk to me about God. Don't talk to me about God. They don't want, when they're very sinful, they don't want to talk about some next life or God, because they think, you mean there's a next life? There's a reaction to what I did in this life? Causing wars, establishing central banks, killing millions of people, lying through the media and everything. You mean there's going to be a reaction? Ooh, I'd better perform some sacrifice to some demon entity to save me. They think in this way. They never go to the mentality, I've been sinful. It's my fault. Maybe I should surrender to the Supreme Lord. And so then they're going down like today's verse. They go down. They can't understand bhakti. Yes, and then also another one, Krishna also in verse 40, same chapter. he explains also more about this. See verse 40. But ignorant and faithless persons who doubt the revealed scriptures do not attain God consciousness. They fall down. For the doubting soul there is happiness neither in this world nor the next. Right? They doubt the scriptures. That means the Vedic scriptures. There are so many man-made scriptures full of contradictions, and obviously they're legends and just traditions. We're talking about the Vedic literature. There's no comparison between the Vedas and the man-made religions concocted, manudharma in Sanskrit. So they doubt the Vedas. And then they actively fight against the Vedas, right? When the British came, the Vedas, that's mythology. Don't do worship to the Supreme Lord. Pay your tax. Right? That is their idea. Economic development, then you'll be happy. If you have nice railroads, that's better than worshipping the Supreme Lord. And all these stories about Krishna and Arjuna and the gopis and Vrindavan, that's mythology. Put it off the table. Huh? But now they're off the table and we're still worshipping Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Right? Now let's see another verse. Yeah, doubting. And that is also... so like today, have a look at 4:8. That's also another about the divine and demoniac. Transcendental knowledge. It's a great chapter for tattva. You'll see the basic ideas running through the Gita and the Vedas all the time. Number 8. Paritranaya sadhunam vanashaya tuduskritam. So Krishna, when he comes in avatar, he comes to protect the devotee. Right? First item is paritranaya sadhunam, to protect the devotee. And then vanashaya chaduskritam. Duskritina means the miscreant, misbehavior. Dharma samstapanathaya, and then to establish religious principles, because generally people in the Krishna comes, Lord Chaitanya comes, the Goswamis, great acharyas come, but because we're in the material world and people, they misunderstand the scriptures, or demoniac people twist the scriptures and so on and so forth, so then yuge, I have to come again. For 3 reasons. To protect the devotees, to destroy the demons, and to re-establish proper dharma. We saw that with Prabhupada. So, you can look at this 4:1 is another one. 4:1, no, it's not 4:1. 9:1. Have a look at 9:1. Supreme Lord said, "My dear Arjuna, because you're never envious of me," right? We've already discussed that. The demon ultimately ends up blames the Supreme Lord. You made the miserable material world, so therefore you don't exist, right? That's a favorite argument of the demoniac. Because there's suffering in the world, then there's no God. That is like the naughty boy is disciplined by the father, and he says, "You're disciplining me for my bad behavior, Daddy, therefore you don't exist." Or the criminal in the jailhouse, he says, "The government should help the people, but the government has put me in the jail, therefore the government doesn't exist." Well, where's the logic in that? You're in the jail because you're a dangerous miscreant. You're a bad person. We're robbing banks and doing other things. So you're in the jail, and now you're angry at the government. The government doesn't want a jail. They would close Tihar jail tomorrow if they didn't need it. The government doesn't want to make a jailhouse, spend all the tax money, for criminals, a whole legal system. There's no jail in the spiritual world. But in the material world it's necessary, because many people, they become very, very terrible. But the government doesn't want it. But the prison thinks, the government, they don't exist. Some kind of crazy idea. No, they exist for sure, and they've put you in the jail. Why don't you see your own situation? Oh, no. It's their fault. They should be giving me money freely from the bank, and then I wouldn't have to rob it. Oh, very good idea. Well, many people might agree. But anyway, so, right. So but also in this chapter, number 23, couple of verses, Yakshastra vidim uchtrishya vartate karma karata. This is very important sloka. Na siddhim avapnoti na sukham na param gatim. He who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness nor the supreme destination. You see? The scriptures, the Vedas are there to advise you, but we have choice. Right? We have choice. And according to how we use our choice, there's punishment or reward materially. But so the scriptures are giving advice, but they're not twisting your arm. They're saying, you decide what to do. Do you want to do the right thing, or do you want to be a rascal? If you do the right thing materially, you'll have good karma. You'll take a higher birth. You'll become the son like Arjuna of a great lady. But if you're a rascal, then you'll go into the lower species of life. Won't even be a human. You'll become a microbe in a test tube, and with a scientist dropping ammonia on your head. Abominable states of life. God. So 3 things. They don't achieve perfection. What is perfection? Perfection is Vasudeva Sarvam iti, to understand that everything is the energy of the Supreme Lord. No happiness. Happiness is the mode of goodness. So the scriptures direct mankind to come to the good life, because from the good life you can understand transcendental world. And you can become attracted to the purity of the spiritual platform, to belonging to Krishna, and Krishna will belong to you. That's what it is for, happiness. And they can't get the supreme destination. They stay in the material world, birth and death. That's today's verse. So also, yes, have a look at 9:19 before we look at the Brahma Samhita. 9:19. That's also a good verse on this subject. 9:19. Yes. 20. I may have... 9:25, sorry. Like I'm talking about the choice. Yes. We already discussed this. Yānty deva vrata devam. You worship the demigods, you take birth amongst the demigods. You worship the ancestors, you go to the ancestors. Those that worship ghosts and spirits, rakshasas, with abominable human and animal sacrifices, take birth. Those who worship will live with me. Who worship me. So then, how does that work? So that's in the Brahma Samhita, verse 54. Yastvinda gopamatavendram ahosva karma bandhana rupam falambhajanam atanoti karmadi nirdahati kinchu chabhakti bhajam govindamadi purisham tamam bhajami. So listen to this. This is Lord Brahma, head of our Sampradaya. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, who burns up to their roots all fruitive activities of those who are imbued with devotion. So every activity we're talking about, it's like a seed. Just like Ramchandra Khan, he sent prostitute to try and distract Haridas Thakur from his chanting. So in that, it's the 3rd chapter of the Anchalila in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So the example is given in the purport there, that because Ramchandra attacked such a great Mahabhagavat as Thakur Haridas, this was like planting a seed. And then the tree grew. And then he had to eat the fruit of that tree. So he became destroyed. His life became all his everything, because he attacked. So all activities are, like we say, this is the karma. It's like a fruit, a seed, and eventually you have to eat that fruit. Who burns up to that, but root. So Krishna, we have so many aparabdha karma, seeds in our heart of past activities that will bear fruit. But through bhakti bhajan, those roots, up to the root, the seed is burnt up, of those who are imbued with devotion. Shavadama prijajama mekam sharanam braja aham tvam savapāpebhyo. All the pāp, all the bad things will be destroyed by bhakti bhajan. And now listen, but those that don't do devotion and impartially, this is Paramatma, he's impartial, ordains for each the due enjoyment of the fruits of one's activities of all those who walk in the path of work. So that means karma, according to your karma, you will get karma phal. But Krishna is impartial. You've done these activities, so therefore you get the fruit. Krishna is upadrasta and anumanta. He's the overseer and permitter. He doesn't tell you how to use your free will. He advises you, and he advises in the heart. He gives conscience. Don't do this, don't do that. Therefore the criminal is, he's not proud of his activities. He's trying to break into the bank at night. He knows already in the heart it's criminal activity. Conscience is there, Shastra is there, the laws of the land are there, but he's compelled to do it by his choice. Here, the due enjoyment of the fruit of one's activities of all those who walk in the path of, in accordance with the chain of their previously performed works. No less in the case of the tiny insect that bears the name of Indragopa than that of Indra, king of the Devas. So if you walk in the path of karma, you working independently of bhakti, you're just working fruitively in the material world, like 5th canto. It is explained there that the spirit soul is like a businessman. He goes into the forest. The forest is the material world, and there he wants to get some fruit, some woods, and he thinks, I'll sell these and I'll make a profit. He has this mentality that I'll enjoy through my work. But there'll be a reaction for what you do. Now, yes, you can do karma, but Krishna in Varnashram, okay, now you have karma, do your work properly. Like Arjuna was told, do your work, Arjuna, don't renounce your work, but do it as an offering unto me. Then that's karma yoga, then you're connecting to the Supreme Lord. So that is the same, the little germ or Indra. They're all enjoying the fruit of their previous works, if they work. But if you perform bhakti, it burns up all that, all your pāpa and your punya, and then in the fire of devotion, they're burnt up, the seeds that were bound to give a fruit in the future, they're burnt up, and then you attain the spiritual world. You attain, what's that verse? janma kama tame divyam evam yo vadi tatvataha taktva deham punarjanma janma naiti mam sorjana. Right? If you understand Krishna, his transcendental birth activities, then you never take birth again in this material world. Huh? So that is the special quality of the human life. We have the ability to realize our relationship with Krishna. If we realize Krishna, then we realize our relationship with Krishna simultaneously. Huh? And then once that is the tickets, that's the entrance. Understanding Krishna means you can go to the spiritual world. On the basis of that understanding, you can develop bhakti bhav. Your swarup will blossom. Nitya siddha Krishna prem sadhakabanai shravanadi sudachitte kiride udai. So this is the bhakti process. Shravanadi, hearing and chanting. What do we chant? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Lord Chaitanya has made this. We should perform Sankirtan so that all those people that are stuck in the material world in this bad way, they hear the mantra chanted by pure devotees and it cuts through to the heart. That is sadhusanga, sadhusanga. That's so kirtan. There's that bhajan, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Udila Arana Purava Bhage, Dvijamani Gora Amina Jage, Bhakata Samu Aloyalo Sathe Gela Nagara Braje. So Lord Chaitanya, he woke up and then he gathered his devotees and he went out in this kirtan party. So even the most demoniac people, last week we were discussing that, they are the devotees. They are devotees. They may be, oh, don't tell me about Krishna. But they may hear the kirtan and go, that's not bad. It's better than metal or rock and roll or rap. So, so the kirtan of the pure devotees, it goes through that lust, anger, greed, illusion and pride, and it resonates in the soul. So they think, yes, why should I be a billionaire? Let me sit on the bank of the Jamuna and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And then you'll be happy. Of course, you can save a little of your money for some chapati. So, any question? Yes.
Like in this part of Prabhupada life about this people. Vedas also it is stated that such person gradually seem to become gods and gods.
So, speak louder.
It may be then argued in this connection that God should not be advertised as all merciful.
Yes. Well, it may be argued. Prabhupada is putting it there. He's not. Some people say that the Lord. He's saying it may be argued. You know, it's just like we were saying. You know, like those slokas. Many people say, "Oh, there's no God," because some people are suffering. So they may argue like that. A few years back, there was what's called Neo-Atheists, but it's not neo. Their basic argument is there's suffering, therefore there's no God. It's not logical, because God is good, suffering is bad. So if God is good, there shouldn't be bad things. Like I said, the child, "Oh, Daddy, you're telling me to do my homework and not eat sweets and chocolate, but to eat nice spinach and peas. You're bad." I want, right, if you give a child, he'll eat sweets, he'll eat junk food, right? He won't eat good food, he'll just eat something sweet and become sick. His teeth will drop out. But the Father is correcting. So the bad things in the world, the karma fall, they wake up people. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be a drunkard. Maybe I shouldn't, right? That's why they call prison. What do they call a prison? Corrective establishment, right? The Department of Correction. Because the idea the government doesn't just want to punish the criminal, wants to correct the criminal. And so in a good prison, they have many learn this skill, they have counseling, they want the criminal to come out as a good member of society. So it may be argued that God is not merciful, Prabhupada, may be argued. But it's not correct, because that punishment, that correction, that direction is meant to bring the living entity to understanding, right? Just like people drink alcohol, right? Say a man is a drunkard. What happens in the morning? He gets up in the morning and says, "Oh God, I'll never drink again." Right? Oh. But of course he's got a bad habit. He doesn't know any other, he hasn't got any other semblance. So you see, they want that you should be able to drink but get no hangover. And because there's a hangover, there's no God. That's the basic argument of the atheist. But we say, no, you become a drunkard and then in the next day you're dehydrated and you have a hangover and you can't remember your own name or what you did last night. This is meant to correct you, that you're not on the right path. That is kindness. You understand? And the fact that you are suffering because of your activities shows that you're under control. So maybe you should realize that this material world is a little dangerous. If you perform bad activities, unhealthy activities, you'll get a bad argument. But it may be argued, So these people argue because they're suffering, there's no good God. Okay, there's no good God, there's a bad God, and He's punishing you. That's how you're seeing.
In the beginning of this Prabhupada line,
Huh?
In the beginning of this Prabhupada line, God is, but here we find that God is never merciful to the demoniac. It is clearly stated.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, in the sense that if they're envious and mischievous, then Krishna, because usually the demoniac, when they become very, very demoniac, they attack devotees. You understand? Because they don't attack the Supreme Lord, He's out of sight. So they attack, blaspheme against the real religion. So that, you see, the thing is, Krishna, you can be very fallen. Krishna will help you in any way. But if you are bad to other people, then Krishna doesn't like that. You understand? Just like you have 10 children. So you don't mind, they're not educated, one is learning to walk, one is learning to speak, the other one learning to read and write. You want to help them all. But if one of the child is always poking and fighting the other children, you look at that child and say, hey, go to your room, out. Don't come in the living room. Go to your room. So that's another form of mercy. So the demons, they won't take to bhakti, they won't surrender to the Shastra. So eventually they become so bad that Krishna kills them. But like we stated at the beginning of the class, the killing is the body. The soul is never killed. It's eternal. So if you're killed, say on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Hiranyakashipu, what happens is you become purified and you may enter the Brahman, but you don't have bhakti. So you go to the Brahman, you become purified, then you come back. So you become washed off your material karma, but you have no bhakti to carry you to the spiritual world. You understand? So there's a kind of mercy. You're a complete criminal rascal, but you die in the presence of a sadhu, or you die in the presence of Krishna, or like Ravana, Kamsa, you become killed. You become purified by that killing. You understand? You may enter the Brahman, then your subtle body becomes purified in the Brahman, but you don't have bhakti tendency. You can only enter a spiritual platform through bhakti. You must be devoted. You must learn how to reciprocate. That's established in the heart, but you haven't done bhakti sadhana to wake it up. So that is a form of mercy. It's like going to rehab, if you like. Right? People, they become drunkard, they become sick, they go to the rehab and they purify the body, they purify the mind, counseling, and they come out, oh, I feel better. I'm going to be a good person. Right? They're purified. So that is Brahman. But then they come out and they meet their old friends and they, oh no, I'm going to live in a different place. I'm going to go to the Hare Krishna temple and hear the Bhagavad Gita. I'm going to chant Hare Krishna. Right? Or they may think, oh, that rehab hospital, I couldn't get drunk for 6 months. And then they go down the pub and they start the whole thing again. Huh? Bhoga tyag. Huh? So that's why, you see, people are miseducated. People have to be told, the law of karma applies to you. It's not just for rocks in the space. It's not just in the test tube, action and reaction. It's for you. And you should be careful. And so if that knowledge of karma and karma phal is there, then that point will make the person think. But if the person just goes to rehab and doesn't realize, has no knowledge, what does Krishna tell Arjuna? Armed with knowledge, O Arjuna, stand and fight. Armed with knowledge. So we're in the material world, prakriti stani karshati. We're struggling with the material mind and senses. And it says in the Gita, Krishna says, the senses, touch, smell, sex, all these material senses, are so strong and impetuous, they carry away even the mind of a sage. Right? It's in the Shastra, is it not? Menika and Vishvamitra, and so on. But he had knowledge, so he thought, oh. So there's paintings, isn't there? Sukuntala was born to Menika. Yeah, and sometimes you see pictures, and Vishvamitra says, oh, no, I'm going to do bhajan. Okay, I'll bless you. You'll have money and everything for the child, but my business is bhajan. Huh? So, yes, so that's the sage. The senses can carry away people. So we must be merciful. If a devotee has problem, everyone has problem. But the strength is in the knowledge. Once the intelligence is purified, the mind will follow. Once the mind is following purified intelligence, then the body will follow. So knowledge, that's why the first stage of bhakti is to gain siddhanta. To understand all the tattva, the dasamula tattva. You're not the body, you're a spirit soul, you must do this, there's reaction, this is how you can progress in bhakti, this is the goal. If you have knowledge, nasta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama sloka bhaktir bhavati naisake, that by regularly hearing the Bhagavatam, all this inauspicious in the heart is practically destroyed to nil, right? And then bhakti awakens, right? Because bhakti is in the heart, it's the natural condition. But the soul is looking in the wrong direction, it's looking to enjoy. Ravana failed, Hiranyakashipu failed, Kamsa failed. Duryodhana failed. Kumbhakarna, he had a good sleep, but he failed also. He woke up with a headache from sleeping too much. And as soon as he woke up, he went back to sleep. So, armed with knowledge, if we understand the Shastra is there, right? Right, Jayam Vijay, right? They got the mercy. So, Shishupal Dantavakra, Shishupal, the Maharaj Yudhisthira made the yajna, and then the most auspicious person gets the prasad first from the yajna. Shishupal said, "Oh, nobody knows who this Krishna is." That's correct. Nobody really knows, right? Is he a cowherd boy, a Vaishya, or is he a Kshatriya? Huh? He's speaking big on the Bhagavad Gita, but nobody can understand it, especially me. So that's the mercy. So that's the problem. Because of envy. You see, Krishna with those slokas, because you're never envious of me, Arjuna, I'm telling you everything. Just like you have somebody sit next to you on the bus, you're going to Delhi. If he's angry, oh, what are you? You chanting Hare Krishna? Do you explain bhakti to him? No, because you think, well, okay, nice, yeah, look, there's a buffalo, like you, look. So you don't, and you say, where you come from? Huh? Why you come in here? Why you wearing a dhoti? Well, half of India's wearing a dhoti. So do you explain to him your situation, your thoughts, your philosophy? Huh? But you meet somebody nice and say, oh, it's very nice, you're coming to India. Oh, you're staying Vrindavan. Oh, I've been 3 times to Vrindavan, very nice. I took bath in the Jamuna. Then you explain, right? It's natural, is it not? So Krishna explains everything to his devotee. But the buffalo, he says, you take bath in the Jamuna over there. Right? He doesn't, okay, goodbye, see you next week. So it's natural, right? Oh, there's that verse, samaham sarvabhuteshu na dveshti na priyaha. I am equal to everyone. I don't hate anyone. I'm not partial. But one who renders friendship to me, I'm a friend to him, and he is a friend to me, and I am a friend to him. Right? That's natural. Right? That's why devotees should be friendly. And then you can have a nice family. But if there's 4 things a devotee. He should worship Supreme Lord. He should learn the art of bhajan. He should make friendship with devotees. Those that are innocent, the Balisha, that don't have knowledge, should give them knowledge. And number 4, the asura, the demoniac, upeksha, should neglect. Don't get involved. Okay. Yes. When I get to Delhi, I'll buy shirt and pants like you. I'll throw away my dhoti kurta. That make you happy? No. Nothing make you happy, will it? Yeah, nothing. So upeksha, okay, yeah. No, you're a great man. No, yes. Very good. You're a sadhu, I'm not sadhu. You're intelligent, yes, I'm stupid, I agree. So, if somebody's angry, you placate them, yes, okay, very good. Indian people are very good like that, right? If someone becomes angry, oh yes, yes. They agree, they don't go to war. They say, oh, yes, yes, yes. The government's terrible. Nagapalika, oh, terrible. Yes, yes. It's not your fault. Like a child, right? Child you have to treat nicely. So somebody's angry or in illusion, You know, you don't stand on the tail of a snake, it'll turn round and bite you. So you must, oh yes. Anyway, we'll finish at this point. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada, Bhagavad Gita, Sadhu Sangha, Vrindavan Dham ki.